man. Yeah. Again, the selection for the Heisman will be this week. Um, this weekend, Heisman winner. I want to say this: my favorite to win it all is Oregon. If you go back some episodes, I feel like one of the biggest move, if not the biggest, was Dylan Gabriel going to Oregon. I believe that was a great replacement by Dan Lanning, and losing Bo Nix and just like
Agreed.
a plug and chug Dylan Gabriel and his skill set. Um, and they're my favorite to win. I know people feel like they did not get a fair shake in terms of like, because like we come up and saying like, if you're the top tier team throughout the regular season, you should get that easy road to the playoffs, right? In terms of just like the seeding. But yeah, or poor Oregon, like they got to play some Tennessee or Ohio State, who's ranked 9 and 8. Where like me at least, like the NBA playoffs is just like one play to 8, two play to 7, so on and so forth. But due to this conference championship, that's got like the ranking system for the college playoff bracket like all screwed up. Um, but I will say this, and this is me just being a realist. This has nothing to do with me like living here in Georgia, because y'all know how I feel about the obnoxiousness of Georgia fans. I think that Georgia should be a favorite to win. I haven't checked on the availability, as I'm saying this. I hadn't checked on the availability of Carson Beck. I'm sure he probably available, or like I would have seen if he wasn't going to be like available for the games. But Bama should be a favorite because I feel like they're the most battle tested. They've been able to beat Texas twice, and that what was that last game that they just had? Who was that they was playing against? Where they had like a seven overtimes. Who was that, Georgia?
That was the Georgia SEC championship game.
That was the Texas game. I thought it was before that.
Tech, not the Tech game, was it?
Tech. It was the Tech game. It was the Tech game. Eight. Oh, I said seven. 8 overtime. Yeah, that was the Georgia Tech game. Black Peace. Yeah, I feel like Georgia is the most battle tested. Beating Texas twice. You pulling out the 8 overtime victory against Georgia Tech. Um, and you doing this with Carson Beck being injured to pull out that win versus Texas. Yeah, that's not the greatest look, Steve Sarkisian, Quinn Ewers. And even in that Bama loss, for them to come back the way they did after trailing by so much in the first half, I feel like Georgia is the most battle-tested team uh, coming into this playoff stretch, to the point where you add on all of the experience from past years. I think they're the most capable of beating anybody and being able to have any situation thrown at them. So outside of them, I would call them my dark horse, but I would deem Oregon to be my favorite to win and Georgia to be the dark horse. I believe they have to go through one another to get there.
I don't like Georgia at all, my brother. I got to say that, man. I am not a fan of Carson Beck. That's why you're laughing.
Yeah, Carson
He is
Beck is
garbage.
better.
He's absolute garbage. I've said that before the season. I do apologize to the pod for not putting it on record, but the man is garbage.
Garbage
He,
truck. He should have left last year when he was projected to go first round as a top three pick. But now,
yeah,
brother, you're lucky if you even get picked. You're lucky
yeah.
if you're a fourth or fifth rounder. I'm talking about lucky.
Like it's the thing of there's system quarterbacks, and I always make everybody always talks about system quarterbacks, but you play for Georgia. You play for one of the ultimate systems to where you need to strike while the iron is at its highest. You don't try to overly max it out. You try to take out like, oh, I got a couple championships. All right, let me get out. Top, like you said, projected top three. Let me get out of here. You don't try to overdo it because at the end of the day, it's not you that's making that team amazing. It's that system and the ability and the players that are a part of that system. As soon as they got rid of their tight end, who's doing an awesome job in the NFL, Mr. Brock Brock Bowers. Yeah, things start getting a little bit more harder for you, player. Things start a little more difficult, and things didn't come to you as easy as they were. Granted, he did, like you said, he's been battle tested. He's, managed to pull himself up out the dirt a lot. But I feel like, that was a regular season, my brother. Like now the lights are on. Like I'm not sure if you're ready to be able to go through this gauntlet of teams that, like you said, have a little bit more spread talent than the past years. Granted, Georgia is still that powerhouse playbook and drawn up team, but they have definitely are not they're not that force they used to be in the last couple of years. I will say that.
Yeah, man. Georgia don't have to go through Oregon or vice versa to get to the championship. They could both actually go up against each other to win it all. So I got Oregon winning the championship. And I got Georgia being the dark horse to win it if Oregon happens to get knocked out. Georgia, they play the winner out of Indiana, Notre Dame. I got Georgia beating either one of those teams. Um, Penn State, SMU has to play the winner out of Boise State. Tennessee, Ohio State, out of those two, they have to play Oregon. Clemson, Texas has to play Arizona State. And I like Oregon to handle up their side of the bracket, and as well as Georgia. Give me Georgia, Oregon in the championship, man. Uh, yeah.